So today we're making waffles. Now, is that anything? Shrek? Donkey? No? Okay. Anyways, for a long time I stopped making waffles because I hated those top-down waffle makers. You know, the ones where you pour the batter in and then you close it, but you get the measurement wrong every time, and it just does not make a good waffle. This Ninja one has kind of changed my mind about waffle makers. So it's a top-down waffle maker. It's pretty impossible to mess up. So today we're going to be making a really good protein waffle with it. I have this Flourish chocolate protein pancake / waffle mix. Yeah, so it's healthy and tasty, and I kind of put my own little spin on things with a banana and stuff like that. So let's start by making the batter, and then I'm going to test demo and show you how this works and how well it actually works. Okay, the batter's really simple. Now, you're supposed to use a ½ cup of this mix, but because I add banana directly into the waffle to make kind of like a chocolate banana one, I add a little bit less than a ½ cup. So I add like, I don't know, like that much. I know it's not much less, but I find it makes a difference. So next we want to take half our banana. Now, if you have a super ripe banana, that's perfect, because this is kind of like almost, you know, using ripe bananas for banana bread. And you can use the other half to top it with if you want. That's totally up to you. Now, all you have to do is really just throw the banana in like that. We're going to take a fork, and we're basically just going to mush it up until it kind of combines a little bit more with the flour. We just want it to be, yeah, just mushy. And so when we start to add in our liquid, it's very easy. Now, as long as you get it so it's like broken up, at least that much, then it'll incorporate fine once we start to whisk it in. So just as long as it's broken up a little bit, you're good. Now, I'm using almond milk. Just up to you what you want to use. You can use normal milk, water, whatever. And just add in a ½ cup. So just as much as the batter we added. And now just do a little whisk. Now we're just going to incorporate this obviously until it's completely combined. Now, if this is either too thick or too thin, I'll show you what that looks like. Then just add a little bit more liquid, right? You just want it to be like a batter consistency, but a little bit runnier than like a cake batter. So this is actually looking really good for consistency, right? Nice and pourable. And just mix it so you can get out as many of those chunks as possible. Now, optional, but I do like to add a little bit of dark chocolate chunks. Just a little bit. So now you can see that nice batter. It could be a little bit thicker, but I think this is going to work fine. Now we're going to put this aside for a second. Now you can chop up the rest of your fruit. This is just for toppings. I just like 3 or 4 strawberries. Use up the rest of this banana. Okay, now I just had to move over to where I could plug this in. So this machine is so simple. Plug it in and just set it to 1 to 5. 1 being a very light waffle, 5 would be a little bit more crispy and dark. I did 3 my first time, and it was, I think, almost perfect for me. I want to try it a little bit lighter just to see how it turns out. Now, once you hear that beep, you know it's ready to go. So we're going to pour in our batter. You can put in 3/4 to a cup. Do not go over a cup or it will overflow a little bit at the top, and you're going to have a bit of a mess, but let's go through and add our batter. So all you have to do is just pour it in. Have a little spatula ready, just like this. Get those chocolate chips in there. Now remember, it's not going to be up to the top yet, and that is because it has to rise. So give it a little bit of time. That batter will rise, and this whole thing should be full by the time we come back. So if you look at the top up here, you can see I added a little bit too much, right? We were a little over that cup because of that banana volume, but it's fine. It'll just sit up there. Most of this will cook, but you could also like scrape it off if you want, but honestly, it's not a big deal. Okay, the timer has just gone off, which means it's now time to open it up. This is the part that always makes me nervous because this is a pull down design. So if it's not fully cooked inside, it's going to like stay on one end, if that makes sense. So let's give it a try. You just press this nozzle. Oh. I mean, come on. Come on. Does that not look like the perfect waffle? So now all that's left is to eat. We just throw it on. We take our fruit right here, top it on a little bit, try to make it look nice. Take some of our banana, layer some banana on top. And look how clean it stays inside as well. You could probably just grab a cloth, paper towel to clean it off after, but there's no reason to rinse it. Actually, in fact, you probably shouldn't rinse it. Now, for my favorite part, I do a little bit of maple syrup on the top. Nice drizzle. Not too much, maybe like a tablespoon and a half worth. Okay, let's be honest, that's a little bit more. I mean, does it get much better than that? All that's left is to give it a little taste. That looks pretty good. So, because we were on setting, I ended up switching it to setting 3 because how loose the batter was. You can see it's still a little, right, a little moist inside. Get a little bit of banana, a little bit of strawberry. And it's super high protein.